Hello everybody and welcome to the Professional Cookery Level 4, and this is the Cook Vegetables unit. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the different types of vegetables. We're going to cook them off, and I'm going to tell you what I expect when I come in to assess you on this unit. So what I've got here is, and I expect you to have this prepped up ready should I be either coming in to see you, to observe you, or doing it online or through video. What you'll see here is I've got my trays set up. I've got a potato, some peas which I've defrosted overnight in the fridge, or what you can do is defrost them under cold water. I've got them in a little container here with a couple of knobs of butter ready to go in the microwave. Microwaving is one of the things that I need to see you do. And this is the way we can cover that. I've got some mushrooms, nice big mushrooms, some broccoli, some peppers which are already prepped up ready. The carrots, you can see, are a nice batons, so I'll expect you to have them ready, maybe sitting in a container in the fridge ready. And we've got two tomatoes ready for grilling. Here I've got some ice water, and over here I've got some water which has been seasoned and has came to the boil. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the broccoli heads which I've taken off the stalk. Again, make sure you check for quality before you use them. Make sure they're nice and fresh, nice and green. Okay, so what we're going to do is drop them into the hot boiling water carefully, and what you need to remember is everything that grows above the ground goes into boiling seasoned water. Anything that grows under the ground, the likes of carrots and things, start off in cold water, then you bring them to the boil. Okay, so that's two of the crucial things that you need to remember. So I'm just going to pop these into the water and then just blanch them off. And while that's cooking, I'm going to put my carrots again into this cold water, and I'm going to season it up. Some nice pepper and some salt. Let me just season that, plenty of seasoning, and then just put the carrots straight into the cold water, and then I'm going to put them over to the cooker at the side of the kitchen here, which you can't see. And I'll put them over here and bring them to the boil. So they're on already, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our baked potato. I'll just give these a little stir. So you can see they're starting to come up nice, vibrant green. And what I'm going to do is do the baked potato. So what we've got is a nice large baked potato, and what I'm going to do is make a cross in the top, like that. Not the whole way down, but about a third of the way into the potato. So this means when it's cooked, you just push on the four corners and it opens up the potato and it looks really nice. So I've got the tin foil, shiny side inside, okay, so that it reflects the heat back into the potato. A wee bit of salt and a little bit of pepper on that. And then what we're going to do is just fold it up nice and neatly. Like that. And if you fold it and have the end of the folds at the top, it makes it easier once you're finished and taking it out while it's still hot. If you don't do that, then it's, you know, it gets a bit hot and you're trying to uncover the tin foil. So over here I've got, well, in the oven I've got a tray already, so I'll just pop that onto the tray in the oven, which is at about 180 degrees. Okay, so we'll cook that for about an hour. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is check my broccoli. So the broccoli is just cooking nicely. So on my observation sheet, okay, which you should have a copy, either a paper copy in your folder or on the online folder, there will be a kind of form that will show you what you need to do, like a preparation sheet, okay, and it gives you all the times and things like that. So the broccoli I've got on here is been on for about 2 or 3 minutes. So I'll just give it another minute and then take it out, because I don't want it to lose colour and I don't want it to get into mush. I I want it with a little bit of bite, okay, and the French call that al dente, okay, so that's al dente. So it's cooking away. Again, with this sheet, once you're in the kitchen and you're all set up and I come in and observe you, I'll be using this as a tick box. So as you cover each element, which it's broke down into, I'll tick it off, and then that's me actually seeing you doing it, and you're confident with doing it. You don't have to do it in that order, it's just whatever order is comfortable to you. I'm doing it in a different order that's on the sheet because it makes it a little bit quicker for the video, okay, so they're not wasting time in loads of video. So what I'm going to do is just take out the broccoli, so it's been in here a couple of minutes, and as you can see it's still nice and vibrant green, and I'm going to just pop it into the, we'll turn this down a little bit, I don't want to turn it off just yet, and then put it into here and just ice cool it right down. And then what you would do is, if you're going to use this later on, you would have it stored, portioned up in the fridge, and then either blanch it again to heat it up, or you would microwave it. And when I worked in the hotels, we used to have big pots of water on, and we'd have our veg all blanched off, and we'd have little baskets, and when an order came on, we'd just drop it into the hot water, blanch it to heat it up, and then serve it out. There was no microwaves in the end days. We didn't really use microwaves, so that's it. So what I'm going to do is take this off, and then we're going to prep up our mushrooms. I'll put them in the sink just here. So what we're going to do is we're going to prep up our mushrooms. I'll just put my pan over here and just let that heat up gently. I'll turn it right down, and I just want to warm that up. So what you want to do is put cold pan on, a little bit of oil while the pan's still cold. If you put it in when the pan's hot, it could be quite dangerous, okay, and it could flare up and either burn your hands or burn your face, okay, so safety on that. Then we've got some salt, just season it up nicely, and then we put a little bit of pepper in there as well, so that's just gently heating up. So we've got my mushrooms. You can see these are quite big, large mushrooms, okay. So what I've done is I've already washed these, okay, to get all the little bits of dirt that you find on the mushroom. You shouldn't really wash mushrooms once you get into the chanterelles and things like that. These are just basic mushrooms that you get in the supermarket. The ideal way to clean them is to use a mushroom brush and then just brush them off. Some chefs, what they do is they peel them as well and just take off the peel, but we're not going to do that today. Let's put that in a little bin side and just slice it in half, and then I'm just going to use the tap. Okay, so the tap is, and just tap it like that, and then get them ready. So I'll just place these over to one side so as you can see better, and just tap. And again, once you get all the techniques, you can see I'm just using the claw again, and then stabilising the mushroom, and then just doing the tap, okay, and then just, so that's the mushrooms ready. The pan's just starting to bubble and heat up. I'm going to move the oil about, maybe turn it up slightly, and then push my mushrooms in. So over here I've got a little plate. Once I cook my mushrooms off, I'm going to start arranging them on the plate, ready for the evidence photograph, and just have it all ready. If you are doing an assessment online and you're doing video or it's live streaming, we have got a taste card uploaded, so you would get your teacher or your supervisor or your mentor to taste and give you a score out of 10 and also sign it, okay? And maybe there's a little box there for some comments, okay? It's just if I'm not there, we need to rely on somebody else tasting the food and making sure it's quite nice. We've got that on the go. I'm going to put another tiny little bit of oil in, like that. While that's cooking, I'm going to prep up my peppers. On the prep sheet, okay, it says to make them into diamonds, okay, so they don't have to be perfect diamonds, just, I said diamonds just to make it a nice shape, okay, and try and get them a uniform shape. So I've got my pepper like that, I'm just going to cut it like that, so, and then cut it in little diamonds. So you can see the kind of diamonds, not all the same shape, but if you get them near enough the same size, that'll be good. So we've got them, and I've got a little tray here. So what you're going to do is roast these off, okay, so we're going to put them onto the tray. Don't make them too small, okay, so I'm going to cut that in half just to make a nice shape. You don't want them too small or they just disintegrate in the oven, or they cook too quickly and they don't look that nice. So you're going to just serve these as a little roasted vegetable, and I'll just quickly do the rest. You can see they're quite big, okay, kind of mixture of sizes. You try and keep them near enough the same size so that they cook, cook evenly. You don't want the small ones burning while the big pieces are still cooking. So I'm cutting these quite big, really for presentation, because I want to arrange them. And they will, don't forget, shrink whenever you're cooking them in the oven. They'll shrink down a wee bit. Let's cut the last one. So, and then what we'll do is just move these to the side and move the right on mushrooms. Yep. So you can just flick them over like so and colour them. You'll find that if you start trying to turn them individually, it takes too long and it's a wee bit too fiddly. So if you just do this technique, just practice it. This is quite a good pan that I've got. It's quite non-stick, so it's really, really good. And it's easier to wash as well, which is really good. So I've got my tray, I've got my peppers on the tray. I'm going to drizzle them with a little bit of the oil, like so. This is quite good quality oil. It's rapeseed oil, made in Scotland, so it's quite good. And I'm going to season up the peppers, so give them a good season, like that. And maybe a wee bit of pepper. So you can see I season everything, yeah. Sure. And then just rub in the oil in the seasoning, like so. And maybe put the skin side up, just like that. And then what we're going to do is just pop them in the oven over here, and hopefully they will cook away in there. Set them on the side. Then I'm just going to wash my hands. So I've got my little wash hand basin over here at the side. Wash my hands. Make sure that you always make sure you wash your hands before you go into the kitchen. Wash your hands in between tasks. Wash your hands before when you're touching the bin, things like that. These little things I'll be looking out for when I'm observing you, either face to face or online or in the videos. And if you're making a video, make sure you can talk your way through it, okay? I know not everybody likes talking to a camera, but if you try and talk your way through what you're doing, explaining what you're doing, why you're doing it, even if you go to wash your hands, just say that I'm going to wash my hands. It's so that I can gather the evidence, and anything like that is really good, and it ticks a lot of the boxes, not only for this unit, but for the other units that you're going to be working through. Okay, so we've got our mushrooms ready, and I'm just keeping the handles a wee bit hot, so I'm just going to use a cloth to hold the handle, and then what we're going to do is just put that onto the tray. Yeah. So once we get onto the tray, and what you should do really is make sure that you taste it, okay? Because you might need to adjust the seasoning, okay? So turn off my cooker and just let that cool down there. So you see I've got my mushrooms ready. I'm going to take out some of this nice broccoli, and I'm going to arrange that on the plate as well. So you can see it's nice, vibrant green, yeah, really, really green. And that's how a lot of people, what to do is they put the broccoli into a pan of cold water, bring it to the boil, and it ends up not a very nice colour and doesn't really taste because it goes into mush. So you can see that this is quite nice colour. And we just arrange this ready for the evidence photograph. I've got a wee bit too much to do that, and then just tidy up my plate. So, as I said before, I've got my peas, so I'm just going to pop these in the microwave and microwave them, okay? So, the timings are for about a minute, maybe, it depends on the strength of your microwave. the microwave I got at the moment is quite powerful, so I'm going to put it in for about 30 seconds. And you'll know if it's hot enough, you can temperature probe it. Okay, so don't forget, temperature probing, making sure things are the correct temperature are some of the things that I'll be looking for to gather evidence, not only for this unit, but as I said before, the other units that you're going to be progressing through. So in here, there's a wee bit of seasoning already in. I'm going to heat it up. Hopefully the butter will be melted. That'll give me a guide that it's hot enough. And then I'll maybe use my temperature probe just to check the heat. Okay, so if you do that, but once the butter's melted and you can see the steam and things coming off it, it should be okay. So I'll just pop it in the microwave over here and just give it about 30 seconds in here. So that's it in, ready to go. The tomatoes, I have them here. So, oh, some of my butter's come out of the piece. So I've got my tomatoes. I'm just going to take out the little stalks. And then what you're going to do is cut them in half that way, okay? So the stalk goes to the side, okay, where the stalk goes in. Then cut it in half like so. So you've got it like that, okay? And the same with the other one. Cut it in half, and then you've got it like that. Okay, so that's my peas ready. I'm just going to rescue them. Carrots are just starting to come to the boiling. So we've got them ready. As you can see, there's loads of steam coming off them. So I know that they're at the right temperature because the butter's melted and I've used that microwave a few times, so I've got the temperature sorted out. I know that 30 seconds for that amount of peas is the correct amount of time to get it to the right temperature. And you'll get to know your own microwave in your kitchen. So I've got that on there. And I'm going to put these peas on here so you can see the steam coming off and they're quite hot, and just present them on that. So it's not very colourful at the moment, but once we get the tomatoes and the carrots on there, that will kind of brighten it up a wee bit. Tomatoes will just set to one side because I'm going to grill them, okay? And I'm just going to take out the baked potatoes. So I've got the baked potato here, so I put that in earlier this morning, so just watch out, it could be really, really hot. And I'll just set it on here to stop it from going onto the bench. So I've got my baked potato, so I'm going to open it up so you can see how I folded it nice and neatly so that it's easy to lift out, like so. And you can see the steam coming up. So I'm just going to present it like that. Open that up, you can see it opens up quite nicely, like so. And then I'm going to just set that on the side of my plate, like that. So that's quite nice. So over here I've got my tray, and I'm just going to quickly grill these, okay? So I've got them on here, and what you need to do is be careful about the amount of oil, because remember you're putting it onto a naked flame, or whether your grill's gas or whether it is electric, it's still going to bubble and spurt, and you don't want it hitting the elements and flames and things like that. So just a small amount of oil, and what I'm going to do is put a little bit of oil on my bench. You can put it in a little bowl or whatever, and then I'm just going to rub it on gently like that. So there's not too much, and it's not going to spurt up and catch fire. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there, and that in there. And then a little bit of seasoning again, that out of the road, and a wee bit of seasoning, like so. And I'm going to put that under my grill, and I'm going to let it grill until it starts to bubble and starts to colour a wee bit. Okay, so a nice brown. You don't want it black, you don't want it burnt. Okay, so it's just nice and brown. Okay. And I'll just pop that onto the grill. So I'm just going to let the carrots cook off, and I'm going to let the peppers roast and the tomatoes grill. And what I'll do is I'll put up a photograph at the end of this video in a couple of seconds, and you can have a look at the finished product. Okay, so just remember, take your time and make sure you get yourself all prepped up and ready to do the assessment. As you can see, it's quite easy. and you'll be able to get through it okay. So thank you very much for watching, and good luck with your course.